You want to start a business, but you have no idea whether your business is going to have success. This video is for you because I'm going to go through business ideas that have the least chance of failure. Now, disclaimer, a lot of the times, most businesses can see success. In fact, I'm going to make another video on the businesses that fail the most. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and like it while you're here. And because that video will give you an idea on which businesses fail the most or have the least chance of seeing success. But it's important for me to mention that most businesses can see success as long as the person behind is willing to put in the effort, make sure the processes are right, and as long as you're looking at every single little detail and you understand how to make a business successful, you'll be fine. But let's get into it. And I would start with the e-commerce space. Now, e-commerce is obviously a very, very wide topic. Let me add some meat on the bone. The e-commerce market is only going one way, and that is upwards. Now, of course, there will be products that won't sell as well as other products. However, generically speaking, the e-commerce market is on an upward trend. And this isn't just for the UK, because actually in the UK, Europe, Canada, America, the e-commerce market is on an upward trend and continues to see growth year on year. But what is even more interesting is the Middle Eastern market or the South Asian market or other places in the world are actually going through a boom of e-commerce growing even more than what it's growing in the West, because actually the initial boom of what it's gone through in the West has already happened. But in the Middle East, in Asia, and in other parts of the world, online sales, e-commerce, whether that's a clothing line, whether that's you coming up with a product, or whether that's you coming up with something completely unique, it is definitely doing well. And if I didn't believe this market is on an upward trend, and if I didn't believe that you guys could make a lot of money within e-commerce, then I wouldn't have started the Golf Lift gym brand that I've started in the Middle East, which inshallah should be launching 1st of October, but I wouldn't do that. So I'm sharing something with you that I'm doing, so hopefully you guys can take some motivation from it and see success in it as well. Now, number two, it's an interesting one. It's probably something not many of you guys think about. However, I would say the females, the women in your families could really thrive in this business. And maybe it's one of those businesses that you could get your sisters, your wives, or the females in your household to do. And it's completely fine for you to do as well. I personally would feel more comfortable knowing my child is being looked after by a lady, a female, than a male. And so the business is a childcare service. Now, why is childcare services on an upward trend? Why is that business model going to see more success than other business models? Well, it's a simple case of this. Wives and husbands, both today in 2024, have to go to work. If you want to, and that's not something I agree with, by the way, I actually think that the men should take most of the responsibility of looking after their house. However, according to society, generically speaking, the wife and the husband have to go to work. And therefore, your children need to be looked after. And so if your children need to be looked after, someone needs to look after them. And so a business in childcare services, I think it's massively profitable. You can make a lot of money and it's only on an upward trend. And a lot of parents currently do need services where they need you guys to create something for them. And a lot of you guys are Muslims that watch me. And I would say, in fact, a Muslim niche, it's an amazing market. And I know a lot of parents would be interested. Let me know in the comments as well, by the way, if you as a parent or you know people who would want something for their children, and maybe it would be a motivation for others, and give me feedback and ideas on the business models and what you can do better, what you can do worse, because that's market research. So I'm all for it, and we should all try to help each other in the comments. I think it's something we definitely need to do more of. Now, number three, if there's a business that you could start without spending money, then obviously, if you make some money, one can say that's a successful business. Remember, a business that is successful to me may not necessarily be successful to you. A business that is making, £2,000 a month may not be a successful business to Warren Buffett, but it may be successful to myself or you guys, right? Where it can replace your job. So, if you are not spending any money starting a business and you can make some money from it, then I would say that is a very high chance of seeing success. And so at number three, I would say service-based businesses. But let me tell you exactly what kind of service-based businesses, because if you can provide a service to a company or someone and in return charge someone, in essence, you're not actually paying anything for a product, you're not making anything, you're not having to spend your own money. You are supplying a service. And examples of that would be where I have now my Pakistan consultancy, where we supply supply customer service, sales, agents to people in UK, Canada, America, Europe, and we charge an additional amount for supplying that person. So for example, in the UK, minimum of someone's going to cost you is like £2,000. That's the minimum. And if I can supply someone in Pakistan to do that work for £400 and I charge the company £800, I'm saving them £1,200. And usually the smallest company probably needs 3-4 people of that same skill set. Larger companies need 50, 60, 70, or 100 of that same skill set. So you could make a lot of money doing something like this. That's one. And by the way, we share free emails, free guides and stuff like that in the description below. And the second one, for example, is the recruitment company that I started when I was 25 years old, where we supply a candidate to a company, and that's the service you supply. Your service is you get a candidate, you supply them to the company, and you charge a percentage. So 15% of the person's salary, let's say the person's salary is £50,000 a year, I would charge that company 15% to get this candidate the job and basically be the middleman in getting the candidate the job at the company. I would charge 15% to the company, meaning £7,500 as a fee for that one person. In the recruitment game, you can make money, a lot of money, a lot of money, right? And obviously the consultancy thing, it's one of those where it's such an easy way to make money, unfortunately. I say this in the most respectful way. Now, number 4, again, it goes back to my argument of wives and husbands have to go to work. If wives and husbands have to go to work, then guess what? The things that need to get done are not getting done. And a big thing that doesn't get done is cleaning. In fact, you'll be surprised, wives and husbands argue about it all the time. The house isn't clean, it needs to be cleaner, you haven't done all of that stuff. Well, guess what? If you could come in and provide a cleaning business where you can get your house clean and you can supply the people, it's something that happens a lot in other countries. For example, I now live in the UAE, and here it's the norm to have someone come and clean your house. But in the UK, it's very uncommon. And I'll tell you something, once you try it, once you trial it, it becomes very difficult not to take on that service. And so a cleaning service, I think, is fantastic. And you can make a lot of money. Your profit margins are very high. And again, feel free to ask me questions in the comments below, and I'll try to help you guys as much as I can on how you can make it unique and how you can make it really work. And lastly, I would say, if you could buy a whole business for £1,000. Imagine a whole business, you could buy it for £1,000. You don't need employees, you don't need to do anything. A whole business, you buy it for £1,000, and you had your products, let's say you spent about £100 on products, which is a lot of money, by the way. £100 is probably too much for the products, right? But you spend £100 on the products. Now you've got a whole business for £1,100. You don't have employees, you don't spend any money, that's it, right? And you could make passive money from this business. I would say that's a win. I would say you could make a lot of money, right? And so vending machines. You could buy your own vending machine and you could ask the business to put it in their business, and I would go for warehouses, engineering companies, construction companies, because they've got a lot of space. When a business has a lot of space, they don't mind putting a vending machine there, right? And you can entice them with a percentage of the sales we will give to you, 3%, 4%, very small percentages. Give them a little, entice them a little bit. You could do something like that, and you don't have to. A lot of businesses don't even want you to. Why? Because you're saying, well, actually, I'm going to save your employees the time going to Tesco, Sainsbury's, or wherever they go, and I'm going to give them the opportunity to buy these things in the warehouse, in the company. And so it's, again, a business model that can work and has good profits and a high chance of success. So hopefully this video is of benefit. Share with your family or friends. Let me know in the comments what does work, what doesn't work, and what you want me to make more of.